皆様お待たせいたしました。続きましては、ザ・コカ・コーラカンパニーシニアマネージャーテクノロジー&ストラテジックパートナーシップス、ベニー・リー様より、コカ・コーラを支える AI を活用したローカライゼーションとブランドガバナンスというテーマでご登壇いただきます。こちらは録画セッションとなっております。英語でのセッションですが、日本語翻訳及び字幕をコアスタッフが担当しております。どうぞご覧ください。
Hi, BTCONJP. Nice to meet you. I'm Benny Lee, the Senior Design Manager of Technology and Strategic Partnerships. What I want to talk about today is how Coca-Cola AI at scale and how it transforms the workflows and accelerating the creativity, both in business and strategy. And most of you may not know this, but we have been around for almost 140 years. We just celebrate our birthday at 139. And I want to talk about how a 139-year-old brand is staying relevant with the others. And how do we have this brand equity that combines with AI innovation? And how does Coca-Cola leverage AI without losing its heritage, the values, and the brand voice, balancing the timeless brand identity and forward-looking technology? And I want to start by giving a bit of context of maybe a different view of the company, right? Company has always been in the experience making business. That's how we see it. We're not just a beverage company. And the simple pleasure of drinking an ice cold Coca-Cola is very sensorial if you think about it. The sound of the ice clanking and the smell of the fizz as you get closer, that tingling sensation as you take a sip, we actually get very meticulous with the process. Having this right serving temperature, the unique dispenser that you see here, and also the vessel that you drink from, the glass itself. We have a term for that, a word for that. It's called the perfect serve. And in the 1960s, we went as far as putting out this advertisement, outlining the best way to handcraft a Coca-Cola, to create your own perfect serve. That's the level of details when it comes to serving our products, because we're so passionate about serving it perfectly. And I want to talk about the rationale behind adopting AI within the organization and our journey from AI experimenting to adoption in enterprise-wide. And also how we're reinventing the consumer experience using AI and the storytelling. But let's touch on this. Most of you may know us for our physical product, but we are also very much about digital. The challenge is, how do we stay relevant when these two opposites, and how do we combine them together to give you a bit of context of what we're doing here? The question is, how do you transform a business and continue to craft the same level of meaningful experience when our core product hasn't changed in almost 140 years? And I want to start with this, with a quote. It's one of my favorites. 1 billion hours ago, human life appeared on Earth. 1 billion minutes ago, Christianity emerged. 1 billion seconds ago, the Beatles changed the music. And 1 billion Coca-Colas ago was yesterday morning. That was from one of our chairmen back in the 1997, Robert Gozueda. And interestingly, that was 1997, and today we serve over 2 billion Coca-Colas every day. And for us, the 2 billion servings come directly from people connecting with our products through a variety of touch points here, from the vending, the coolers, the fountain machines, and something even more future forward like the robot. And those 2 billion servings equate to 2 billion opportunities to engage with our consumers and transform their experiences. So those are 2 billion conversations. And at the same time, throughout the years, everything has changed, but nothing has changed. So what we realized was, if our product doesn't change, we can literally change everything around it. So our product hasn't changed in over a century, and it probably won't change for another century, but we can keep building new experiences around the product and surrounded by the brand, and evolve that, adapt it when new technology become more possible, whether it is AI, VR, AR, or any kind of new technology down the road. So since the product doesn't need to change, we can build 2 billion experiences dedicated to just serving the product perfectly. Everything around it is designed to create the perfect experience. And these are some of the categories that you see that surrounding the product, the brand, But for today, we'll just touch on one, the AI part. AI itself is the next chapter for us, is the next chapter in brand storytelling. And how we use AI to localize, to remix, to personalize storytelling across different cultures in different countries and different platforms. How generative AI, Gen AI, can help a global brand speak 100 languages with cultural nuances that sounds authentically like you. And then we can reinvent the consumer experience using AI to move from mass marketing to these micro small moments every day. For example, we can predictive promotions and create AI generated experiences and immersive campaigns. And I want to talk about an exciting platform that we have created some years ago. It's called the Coca-Cola Creations. It is a platform designed to experiment, to dive deeper into how we can collaborate with different partners. So whether it's a film studio, a game studio, an artist, a singer, an actor, there's a lot of that. So this is a really exciting collaboration because they were collaborating with AI. It's called the Y3000. And this limited edition is our first AI formulated creations flavored, and want to give you a glimpse of what the future tastes like. The development process is actually fairly simple at a high level. We started the input terminology to kind of define the brand and our product and what does it look like and taste like coming from the future. Just a little bit brainstorming there. And we're taking all of these and created this visual mood board. We crafted and curated a set of images to kind of serve as a design inspiration. And then we dissect and distill them into these visual categories that we can use and anchors the look and feel of that and categorize them so we know what it looks like and how letting them guide the creations. I want to take a look at the process, and this video showcased that perfectly.
This is the year 3000. And this is the first ever Coke, co-created by AI. But how did we get here?
Ice-cold Coca-Cola.
Since 1886, Coca-Cola has led the way, satisfying a thirst for optimism, connection, and refreshment. By combining the power of human creativity with artificial intelligence, we took a giant leap forward to imagine what a Coke could look and taste like. In the year 3000, AI co-created a new future flavor Coke, remixed from the iconic original taste. AI text-to-image generators gave us a glimpse into the future. And from this future vision, set by AI, we designed a visual identity system, an immersive world that people can experience today, featuring a twist on the iconic Coke script that fizzes with digital connectivity. Liquid that represents Coke's effervescence, but with a futuristic glow. And color that evokes a bright, bold, and positive future, signed off with a bubbly Coke Red Creations square. We created limited edition drinks available at your local store, and inspired immersive experiences online and across the world. For a limited time only, we took a whole generation into an entirely new millennium, generating over 5 billion impressions, winning hearts and minds, and getting a whole lot of attention along the way. A Coke from the year 3000, and the first Coke co-created by me, AI. That's real magic.
And that was a really super exciting platform and activation for us. The first ever AI collaborative formulated flavor, and only for a limited time. And that gives you a glimpse of Y3000. And here's kind of a look of the activation booth that we had to when we activated this. And also some of the influencer kits that we provided to influencers and creators, content creators. And for all of those who are familiar with the Guideline Awards, I'm proud to say that the Y3000 also won in the categories of brand identity systems and limited edition categories last year. The next one I want to touch on is called Sounds. It's an AI-powered instrument, and it goes back to how Coca-Cola is being very sensorial. And there's actually neuroscience behind this. I'm not sure if some of you have heard of it, but it's called synesthesia. Synesthesia is a fancy name for when you experience one of your senses, but through another. So it's like when you hear music, but you see shapes, or when you hear a word of a name, but you instantly see different color. It's almost like you say you have a word that says red, but it's in color yellow. So that's part of like kind of tricking the mind in a neuroscience level. I want to quickly play a quick video here to kind of give an idea. It's an advertisement that we have done. Yeah, that's really cool. And have you realized that, you can sometimes remember or get reminded of Coca-Cola when you're listening to certain sounds, the little psh, the little clink or fizz or glug, or when you drink it, the little ah. Yeah, all of those intrinsic sounds are very refreshing. And it's something that you almost makes you want to anticipate, and you want to taste or drink Coca-Cola when you hear them. And that's the level of neuroscience we were looking into. And we used AI to kind of analyze the waveforms and the sound and record them in a studio. Then we try to remix them into this instrument that allows you to replay the sounds, but also remix that into different musical notes. And we partnered up with one of our good friends, the DJ Marshmallow. And this is what he's created. Yeah, that's Coca-Cola sounds. And the next one is a bit of a holiday spirit with Create Real Magic 3.0. And Create Real Magic started as a limited time platform and kind of a contest to kind of allow the public or digital creatives around the world to use the first of a kind AI platform to generate original artwork with the assets from Coca-Cola archives. And we open up our archives for the first time, allowing people to remix our assets. And this is just a few years ago as we started getting into the AI, Gen AI field. It's the first time ever we open up our brand assets, Coca-Cola logo, scripts, the visual graphics, and allowed consumers to play with it and remix that. That was Create Real Magic 1.0. And then moved on there, we have done 2.0 just 2 years ago. We allow people not just create and remix our assets, but we allowed them to submit the work to be able to feature on the artwork on the New York's Times Square billboard or the London's Piccadilly Circus. And with just 2 months of campaign on the first Create Real Magic 1.0, we resulted over 120,000 images being generated within the first month, and then 300 million social media impressions with zero paid media market. And since then, we move on 2.0 here. We're using the presets, and you can see here, and we also made it modular to start accommodating that to different holidays from Lunar New Year to Diwali or Christmas, using the same format so it can start like being localized into different countries, so it feels more like regional based. And within a month of that first 2.0, 100 images were generated across 2 different holidays in Christmas and Diwali. And continuing the path with 3.0, we took it up at the way more next level. We launched a Create Real Magic 3.0 last year, and allowing everyone to have their first conversation with an AI Santa, but it's not just an A Santa, it is a Coca-Cola Santa. And we wanted to bring one of the most iconic characters to life. It was not just any Santa, but the Sunbloom Santa from a painting from decades ago. And we wanted to create this magical engagement by bringing the most iconic assets to this new innovative world of AI. And in defining these human AI relationships, we constantly ask ourselves, how should they interact? What makes the connection feel real? And our focus always centers around 4 different areas here: the ecosystem design, the 3D design, the visual design, and conversational. And all of these are the components that make it authentic for us in the AI build-driven avatar. And looking at the Sunbloom Santa here, we actually codify and broke it down into every aspect of the Santa that you can think of, from his rosy cheeks, his beard, and the buttons on his cloth, and all those trim of the fur. All of those are little telltale signs and details that make a Coca-Cola Santa. And you can see here, this kind of goes into the visual design as we try to bring a painting, a 2D Santa, into real life and make it 3D. All these realistic gestures, subtle movements that the Coca-Cola Santa does, and this expressive body language. It has this signature feature, his flowing white hair, things that he never showed his front teeth, always had to be carefully documented into this playbook. And that's what truly defined that. We ensure no details are ever overlooked. We then cloned his voice across different languages, and we try to be mindful and reflect these cultural nuances because each language has different tonality, the pace, and the mannerism.
Yokoso. Bienvenido. Bem-vindo. Welcome. Let's create a snow globe to spread even more kindness.
And we work with an authentic voice actor who has allowed to use his voice to train his voice, and he was an actual Santa voice actor. And Santa greeting in Japan, Santa greeting users in Japan with fluent Japanese, but it also had a little slightly tinted by his characteristic English accent. So you can see how he's doing it here.
ようこそ、あなたに会えて嬉しいです。お気に入りのクリスマスエピソードを教えてください。少しの魔法であなたの思い出をスノードームとして形にします。登録またはログインして始めましょう。
And that's kind of how we're looking into as we roll out these global campaigns. We look into localizing it at many different levels. I'll play this real quick.
The world needs more Santas. That's why this year we launched a first-of-its-kind AI-powered experience that brings our iconic Santa from archive to AI. Collaborating with leaders in design, technology, and AI, we have crafted a groundbreaking multimodal AI platform that gives the world a direct line to Santa. Here's how it works. Simply scan a code, tap a link, or visit createrealmagic.com to share your holiday memories with Santa in your language.
ようこそ。 Bienvenido. Bem-vindo. Welcome. Let's create a snow globe to spread even more kindness. Now, tell me all about your favorite holiday memory.
One year, my boyfriend and I tried skating on a frozen lake on Christmas Eve. It was so beautiful, despite all the spills we took.
What a delightful memory! Skating on a frozen lake sounds both exciting and serene. Were there any special landmarks by the lake that made the scene even more magical?
The snow-capped mountains were so lovely, and every tree around the lake looked like a Christmas tree.
Ah, the mountains must have made for a breathtaking backdrop. The snow-capped peaks and those trees create a perfect winter scene. Thanks for sharing such a lovely memory. Guess what? Your snow globe is ready.
You can then easily share your snow globe to social media for the world to see. This year, we invite you to give a gift you don't have to wrap. Talk to Santa, share your favorite holiday memories, and create real magic.
And that gives you an idea of the Create Real Magic 3.0. And want to touch on how this, evolution in AI is informing how we're able to touch on that. Because with Create Real Magic 1.0 and 2.0, they're more on the uni model. As we start going into 2.0 and 3.0, we get into the world from AI uni models to AI multi models, where we get having different agents and different AI models coming in, working cohesively. So it's not just making images and videos anymore. And perhaps down the road in the next few years, we can be looking something more of a AGI or Omni model that resembles, human emotions and be able to feel that. And, AI design is also not very one-dimensional, right? Based on what I've mentioned with the multi-model, it requires a look at all different angles to create this seamless and engaging human-machine interactions. We orchestrated this complex network of AI components around the snow globe, how it's being talked to, and build out this snow globe. And as they work seamlessly together, as you talk to the having a conversation with the Santa, it is constantly in the background, working into picking up the appropriate language, the subjects, the topics, and then he's working with a different AI model to create the snow globe. So within seconds, within a minute, you would have a snow globe personalized based on your holiday favorite memory. So here, quick behind the scenes, and you can hear from the partners who brought these together. Fun fact, the Mimic Productions here that you see on top, and they're the studios who brought the 3D design of Santa to life. They also worked on high film projects such as the Avatar, the Blue People with Avatar, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and creating these hyper-realistic characters on the big screen.
This holiday season, Coca-Cola invited the world to experience the magic like never before by introducing the newest release of our Create Real Magic multimodal AI platform. Now, you can have a heartwarming conversation with Santa himself. Share your favorite holiday memories and watch as he captures them in a magically musical snow globe, just for you to share with the world. It all started with an iconic asset and a magical idea. Bringing this enchanting experience to life was a journey of innovation, collaboration, co-invention, and a sprinkle of holiday magic. Coca-Cola partnered with leaders in design, technology, and AI to make this experience possible.
This year, Create Real Magic is a truly groundbreaking experience. It required us to pull capabilities from across Accenture. Think designers, developers, creative technologists, AI engineers, marketers, all had to come together to design and build this first of its kind experience platform.
The goal of Create Real Magic was to embody all the elements that make Sunblom Santa instantly recognizable. That's why we needed a powerful multimodal AI solution to ensure the conversations stayed jolly, on brand, and engaging. Coca-Cola is using Azure's speech-to-text to capture audio in many different languages and then transcribe it. That then gets passed to GPT-4o, which is the brain of Santa, basically processing that text, understanding what the user has said, and then outputting an intelligent response.
We had to stay true to the archival assets and ensure that we captured all that makes Sunbloom Santa iconic and magical since its debut in 1931. To accomplish this, we designed a fine balance between the painterly effect that would make him instantly recognizable as Coca-Cola's Sunbloom Santa and the realism that was needed to train the AI model.
To bring snow globes to life, we had to develop a multimodal solution that seamlessly combined AI-generated imagery with video. We gave Coca-Cola early access to our groundbreaking Phoenix model, enhanced with custom fine-tuning to meet their specific needs.
Our mission was simple, but really challenging. Create a digital Santa that perfectly captures the magic of Coca-Cola's beloved character. We needed Santa to move naturally, speak authentically, and connect with people in real time across 26 different languages worldwide. So to do this, we co-engineered a new avatar solution with Azure AI.
By bringing together these innovative partners and emerging technologies, the magic of the holidays is now more real and personal than ever before. Join us in this enchanting journey. Talk to Santa, share your memories, and create real magic with Coca-Cola.
Hopefully that gives you a good idea on this. And if you happen to be around London, around the iconic Piccadilly Circus end of last year, you may have seen this activation as well. Hopefully that gets you exciting. And I want to now talk about how do we scale creative solutions and how are we localizing the brand governance using AI. So as you know, we serve over 200 countries. We serve every countries in the world except a few. And that means a lot of languages, a lot of versionings issues. We almost update our labels 40,000 times a year. And there's a really good use case of AI being leveraged in the business process and scaling this relevance through localization at scale, at speed, right? And Coca-Cola's AI-enabled localization for the content agility framework and how we're using AI to bridge the gap between global consistencies and this local resonance is key. So we have partnered up with Adobe last year, and we were using Gen AI to localize the templatizations, our process and our operation and all the processes in design and in business. So we talk about how we have different versions issues. And we were trying to find a way to efficiently localize all of the work that's being distributed all over the world. And we want to make it relevant in each region, from language, the photography, the marketing, the messaging, all using AI. To give you an idea, as a recap, right, we sell 2.2 billion servings every day and 200 brands under our portfolio in 200 countries, 150 languages, 30 million points of sales. That is a lot to manage on a global consistency level. And consistency has never been more relevant and more important for us today. And back in the 1930s, our president of Coca-Cola, Robert Woodruff, he would always carry a red swatch in his wallet. It wasn't just any red, it is Coca-Cola red. And so everywhere he goes, and when he sees our brand cooler or banner or signage, he would take it out of his pocket and put it on there as just to check if it matches the Coca-Cola red. So he had the right idea. Whereas the Woodruff used a swatch, our design team has spent the last 4 years dreaming up of a modern operational upgrade for this 400 pages of brand guidelines. We have these 400 pages of brand guidelines, but not everyone reads through them. And it is difficult to get everyone to design consistently. So we created a platform called Vision. It is capable of capturing that creative intention and encode it into what we call the design style ID. It is a machine readable identity that can automatically apply the brand rules across all the formats, platforms, and markets. And once the design style ID is trained, it can act as a real-time guide, enabling Coca-Cola teams and agency partners to generate hundreds of localized campaign variations with the right precision and consistency on brand, freeing the creatives, our designers to focus more on just storytelling, not formatting or editing. The result is fewer errors, fewer executions, and stronger brand integrity at scale. So we like to say design once, scale infinitely. And that's why we look at Vision collaborating with Adobe, since they have the largest creative platforms in the world. And right now, Vision is natively embedded into the Creative Cloud suite. And the designers can work inside the tools that they already have and trust, like Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop. It is trained specifically on Coca-Cola's design logic. And it recognizes our brand, and it's brand managing AI that lives within this Adobe platform. And it generates design, and most of all, it helps designers across the globe to make sure the work is brand compliant as they dream up the next campaign. It turns out that we realized as we are designing and developing this style ID that AI reads the brand guidelines differently. Using AI at scale is a lot about codifying the design system accurately for AI, not for human beings. You see, a lot of times machines, they have trouble understanding our brand guidelines because most of these brand guidelines, they were written and they were created for humans, and they do not read it the same way with AI. So what we realized is that we have to codify our brand guidelines a certain way so they could see that in the way AI reads it. And, you know, Vision is like an AI agent that shadows you during the design process. It is able to understand the relationships behind the logo, the brand assets, and then the graphics with the built-in anticipation into something, like I said, we call this design style ID. And that creates it codifies everything that you need to know and into this machine readable identity, right? And once it is trained, it acts like this real-time guide that shadows you, enabling our team and agency partners to generate hundreds of localized campaigns. And the beauty of this is that it transforms the traditional way of designing process and making it more intelligent and more informative way to design. And the image content, creating content here, layout on the artboards with just a click of a button.
The key things here is you don't have to do anything one by one anymore.
Creatives finally have a way to work at the pace of their imagination without stopping to check brand guidelines. And with intelligent updates, introducing a new element automatically adjusts all assets across a campaign, applying the design system accurately.
All of the assets are there, all the guidelines, everything is baked into it, and we're all producing stuff that we know is going to be consistent and on brand.
This platform allows designers to lead with creativity while AI drives quality at scale. It proves that creative freedom and brand governance can work hand in hand from the first idea to thousands of assets.
We believe this to be setting the new blueprints for the future that other industries can follow. And it's a future forward way of intelligence. And this is how we would define our brands and scale our excellence and our quality. And this is an intelligent design system, a living and breathing intelligent design system where brand guidelines live within the assets themselves, ensuring that there's always constant consistency, little quality check, the speed and adaptivity in every touch point. And at the end of the day, it is not about cost cutting. It is about the path moving forward that is sustainable for business to drive better work and eliminate the headaches under tight deadlines. And don't get me wrong, we're not replacing designers. In fact, the designers are very much in charge. The people, the human beings are still very much in charge. They're just training and defining the decisions that's being informed for our business and its own brand. And we always like to say designers lead, AI follows, and everyone is a designer here. Thank you.